GMO. What is GMO? Well, it's an organism which is genetically modified, which refers to an organism that has its DNA altered or modified through genetic engineering. Mostly, they're engineering plants with toxic bacteria that kill bugs that try to eat the plant. In fact, 85% of corn in the US is genetically modified. You see, GMO is significant. Well, so who started this? It is the Monsanto Company. It was founded in 1901 as a chemical company founded by John Francis Queeny. The company grew by developing pesticides. Back in 1944, they made a significant production by the DDT, but then it got banned due to its extreme toxicity. Another herbicide developed by Monsanto is called the Agent Orange, but of course it was so toxic it contaminated 3 million and causing 500,000 of Vietnamese children to be born with casualties. In 1983, Monsanto, led by Robert Fraley, genetically modified plant in history. This made a huge change of agriculture as labeled as the era of GMOs. Its production was way much faster than non-GMO products. However, it didn't end up here. Monsanto developed further on GMO crops. In the 1980s, when Monsanto was busy with lawsuits, they discovered this thing called glyphosate. This finding has eventually helped the company to rise up again. Well, their new herbicide was renamed as Roundup, and after a few decades it became the most used herbicide in the US. It was because of the development of the GMO crops. Before, farmers had to plant seeds with distance to till their fields because weeds grew between them. But when Monsanto made GMO crops resistant to Roundup, farmers could actually plant those seeds closer together as they could just use tons of Roundup without harming them. As a result, this brought an increase to crop yield and a decrease in the cost of production. Of course, many have been opposing to the company, but as we can see now, it is everywhere. So is actually GMO good or bad? Monsanto believes that their genetically modified plants or crops are not harmful for both humans and animals as they are tested several times. Yet the VP of Russia's National Association for Genetic Safety believes that it is necessary to ban GMO as the process is not perfect. Biotechnology should be developed but GMO should be stopped. But then some scientists are considering the good and the bad of GMO, thus state that it is still a debate whether it is bad or not. In fact, 38 countries worldwide have officially banned the cultivation of GM crops. While many countries have been trying to regulate on the GM products. Let me tell you how it really happens inside. Any guesses? The answer is protein synthesis, where there's replication, transcription, and translation. First of all, DNA is found in the nucleus of a cell. DNA contains 4 different kinds of bases: adenine, thymine, cytosine, and guanine. DNA converts information into a code that specifies the set of plans for building the different parts of a cell. Replication. DNA helicase unwinds the double helix structure and breaks down the bonds. As they are break down, now there are 2 separate strands of DNA. DNA polymerase then comes in on both strands and places the complementary bases according to the base pairing rule. This is 2 DNA molecules. RNA transcription. The RNA polymerase in the end of the DNA strand copies a DNA double helix into a RNA code. What we call mRNA is the messenger which carries the instructions for the amino acids. The mRNA moves to the cytoplasm and the ribosome where protein synthesis actually happens. Translation. Ribosome and ribosomal RNA helps to make the translation happen. The growing polypeptide chain eventually constitutes a protein. These amino acids link together to form one molecule of protein. So this is the end. Thank you for watching.